up the microphones, and we're live. Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of The Accords. We are the polyhedral crew. Oh, wait. I turned... Always mute your Twitch stream whenever you've got it running. So to start again, welcome to the polyhedral crew. We're playing episode 3, I think, at this point of The Accords. Because we use zero-based numbering because of session 0. And so we're going to pick up where we left off last time. But first, before we do that, I actually want to thank, I've got a little note here. Whoever's clicking, please mute yourself. We hit 100 subscribers on YouTube. 100 subscribers. That's awesome. And what that means is that we were actually able to transform our URL on YouTube from a bunch of garbage text into /polyhedral crew. So now it's beautiful. It matches up with what everything else has. And we have Reddit user Echoing Zen to thank for that. He was our 100th subscriber. I did a big push trying to ask people to subscribe. He said he was the 100th subscriber. So congratulations to him. Thank you so much. You've won nothing except for this announcement. So,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and a very special place in our hearts. So thank you all. Please share, subscribe, share this with your friends. We are going to pick up where we left off. And so my question is, do we remember where we left off? So who wants to start doing a recap for tonight? I will pick someone.
I'll go. Why not?
All right. John, tell us what happened last session.
So last session, our group of ne'er-do-wells, just kidding, we're good guys.
Miscreants?
We're great. We're okay guys. Ended up at the mysterious computer hacker's lair, which was in the Library of Congress in a long-forgotten section based on something called ethics. But she introduced us to her cool hangout, of which I had my bullet wound sewn up by the Earl King's, what are you, your sandwich prepper? Yeah. Well, he was attending my wounds. We then started learning about the mysterious lady who was at the party that we were at, the one who disappeared before the crab monster appeared. So we get information on her, thanks in part to Mallory's character, and we start to head out to investigate who this person is and what's going on. And that was interesting. Ominous, even. Spider came in front of my camera. We went to
radioactive?
Apparently. So we went to her apartment to gather information, and it led us to following this lead that led us to the local hospital. And let me bring up my list of names, because I know that Randy was helpful and wrote it down for us.
Sharon Bagley. Sharon Bagley.
That's right.
Yes.
We went to go find her in the hospital, of which strange things were afoot. One being that one of us had to become an impromptu surgeon. And so that's how we got the very interesting qualifier, C-section by instructional video.
Yes, with a GM-free invoke. I can't wait to use that. That's going to be awesome.
But
it really is going to be awesome.
But as Ravi and Hux were going upstairs to investigate the room, strange things were going on. And so I have my gun out. He has his mace out. We were just approaching the room when we ended last time.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Christopher?
I just wanted to mention that Michelle decided to attempt to create a ward around the room that he was in to save the baby from this ominous fog of I don't give a crap. And now screwed up, so no one can come in and help him. And he owes a favor to somebody.
Yes,
I think that's important.
Yes, you had to become indebted to an unknown entity that helped you out in your time of need. With everything that's going on right now, there's you don't really have a lot of time to figure out who it is. And so that is going to be very interesting.
I also
good.
Nope. We also encountered a bunch of goblins who were trying to muscle in on us, and I ended up taking a token from pretty much Michelle's master, which I can use at any time to do anything, really. Anything at all with Michelle. So
I forgot something in my eyes. Hold on.
Use this token.
Oh man, those
Sorry,
middle
Mallory.
fingers, Christopher. Those middle fingers. So,
I,
all
I just
right.
had my eyes. Sorry.
Yeah, I see how it goes. So, Evie, where did we leave you off at the end of the last session?
Well, I can't remember exactly what drove me to the room where Michelle is, but um, basically, I also am in the room with the mother attempting to deliver the baby while there's the miasma happening.
Mm-hmm.
So we have effectively split our support and our combat evenly, which is gonna suck for this particular instance.
Well, never split the party.
Well, I
Always.
mean,
Always split the
seriously.
party.
We needed somebody to keep watch, but we
Hey,
just
listen.
it was inconvenient.
I run another game where I have 4 players and they all go in 4 different directions every time. And at the end of every session, they're like, "Can you keep us together?" And I'm like, "You do it to me." Like you
Sounds
guys
like every
make
game of Shadowrun I've ever
I
played.
never ask this because I'm in that other game, and I know it's just going to keep happening.
Yeah,
But-
it's absolutely going to keep happening because you're a bunch of assholes. But no, I'm kidding. I love you guys. All right, so to set the scene, you are at one of the upper floors of a hospital. You guys are in the pediatrics ward. When you guys got off the elevator, there was kind of like a burst of kind of like flickering lights. The lights on the floor like started to kind of like dim and flicker. Some of them went out, but some of them are still on. There are emergency lights and etc. There's no alarms going on. Following this like burst, there was a miasma that began to kind of like roll down the hallway, and it kind of like smelled like rotten eggs. And generally was like clingy and cloying to you. At this point, Ravi and Hux both kind of like headed off down the hallway to try and find out what's going on, to encounter whatever was going on. In the meanwhile, Michelle and Evie went to the waiting room in an attempt to kind of like scope out what was going on. Evie had opened up her laptop. Michelle had found a white coat that made him a doctor.
Because I
which
wanted to
led-
hide my weapons.
Because that's how that works.
Yeah, and so that naturally led to a compel on the what was that? That was the
Novice.
was it novice, or it was extraordinarily ordinary, I think, or novice, one of those two.
I was a novice
and-
because I grabbed the wrong thing.
Well, I mean, yeah. So, and then there is a woman who needs an emergency C-section. The baby's going wrong. And Michelle and Evie kind of like got brought in. Evie used her laptop to try and like basically like YouTube how to do a cesarean section, which actually led to the creation of the Aspect C-section by instructional video, which you guys can pay fate points to use. But it has a GM free invoke on it because that went wrong. Because, why wouldn't it go wrong?
I don't think it's going to help me in my current situation.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's what's going on, because when Ravi and Hux got to the room, pardon me, I've got a little bit of a cough. My little 4-year-old disease vector brought something back with her. Whenever you guys got to the room, there was a creature with this long proboscis coming out of its mouth, giant like wings, like bat-like wings. And basically there was in the room, this was you guys were looking for Sharon Bagley. You were looking for Sharon Bagley because she had potentially had information on auctions that may relate to this book that you guys found previously, the Picatrix, which is what the demonic crab creature in the first session was trying to get a hold of, but now is in your possession. Which, interesting question. Do you guys actually have it with you, or did you guys leave it back at the ethics headquarters?
We probably left
I
it.
think we left it back at HQ.
I don't have it.
All right.
Probably covered
Just
in a
making
pile
sure.
of junk. Nobody
What
will
was
even know
it?
to check there.
The Picatrix, the book that the giant crab demon monster had attempted to steal from the Middletons.
I
in
could
the
have
first
sworn
section.
somebody was holding on to that.
It's underneath one
Well-
of the discarded pizza boxes in the corner.
There you go.
So nobody's gonna
There's
even
no
go over
way
there.
I would have left it like that. It's definitely
Well-
on her desk, very
well-
carefully placed because she knew what it was.
Fair enough, but it's still back at Ethics HQ.
Sure.
Which, until you guys come up with a better name, I'm just going to start calling it Ethics Headquarters.
That's gonna end up being the name.
That probably, which is ironic because you guys are in the District of Columbia, the headquarters of ethical behavior. So anyway, you, Ravi, and Hux went back. You saw this creature. This creature was feeding on a pregnant woman who was there. Sharon Bagley was on the floor, badly wounded and dying. Not dead yet. As they say on Monty Python, but your job is to make her feel better. And the creature had eaten the fetus out of the pregnant woman, and the pregnant woman died as a result of this. The pregnant woman's name is Vanna, and she was someone who Sharon Bagley was investigating as part of her thing. Because if we remember, Sharon Bagley is
Did
she
that
is a
kill her?
podcaster. What's that?
Did
The
she
pregnant
die?
woman- Vanna is dead. The baby is
That's okay.
dead.
I thought she also died in
Charlene.
the process.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Charlene Bagley, not Sharon. It's Charlene. Oh my goodness, horrible. I need to get a wiki up for this game. And she is a podcaster with a podcast called The District Sleeps Tonight, a music podcast with supernatural stories woven in. She is also a badass fence friend of Hux. So that's where we stand, and that's where everything is. We've got initiative up on the board, the purple board for Trello. We've got all 4 players listed there. We're going to list... Oh, one thing I forgot to mention about the monster. The monster, as soon as Ravi and Hux kind of presented themselves as a challenge, it immediately split in half, saucer section style, like the Enterprise in Next Generation, at the waist. The legs went running at Ravi, while the top half just kind of like began flying in the air, with its long proboscis kind of like weaving around.
Just like a pair of legs running at me?
Yes, just a pair of legs running at you. This was another suggestion by a fan of the show on Twitter. This creature is called Manananagal. I cannot pronounce it to save my life. But it was I thought it was a pretty cool suggestion. It's like a Filipino style vampire that kind of like eats babies. And so I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's really awesome. I like that.
I know what you're talking about.
Let's do it. It was apparently anyway. So this is where we begin. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go with top half. We're just going to call it legs. Then we're going to have C-section. And then that's it for initiative options. So those of you who can see the Trello board, you should have it open. If not, look at it on I almost said Steam, on Twitch.
I have it open.
There's Hux, Evie, Ravi, Michelle, top half legs, and C-section. I'm going to have legs go first because legs is charging after Ravi. Ravi, just to let you know, this is not, this is obviously a monster fight, but this is not like your like Knight of the
right. This is not like a demon.
Yeah, exactly. So like this doesn't flag your big thing.
Sure. I'm still got the mace. I'm still in my on my holy crusade.
Yes.
You may not be a Super Saiyan, but you're still a Saiyan.
And he's very noble. That's why we're just saying.
Just saying. So let's see. It is going to legs are going to charge at you. I don't have a nice dice macro for myself because I'm apparently a horrible GM. The legs begin charging at you, Ravi. They jump easily over Charlene's almost unconscious body, with blood kind of spurting out of her chest. And as it jumps over, it kind of like does this flying kick at you and tries to hit you in the leg.
Like ninja legs. What is happening here?
Yeah, right. It's pretty crazy. And it attacks with a force of +2. So there was an error with my formula. 4df +2. So that is exactly the kind of rolls that I expect. So I rolled a 1 to attack you. So how would you like to defend?
Yeah, obviously I can't use faithful. I wish these were stickied. Intellect doesn't work. Focus is probably my best bet, right? So
Okay, how are you going to deal with
basically
it?
I'm
Focus.
just like I'm focused, right? Like I'm in the zone. This is not my first combat, so I'm focused in. I can see the attack coming. I can try to, like I'm in my Zen moment, right? Like I'm fluid and focused. So I'm gonna I'm gonna dodge those with a defend roll.
Whoa.
And my dice roller is not working.
No.
Know what?
No, just that your dice roller isn't working. So
Yeah, I might have to go back to the old way of doing things.
yeah, just roll it. Type in /r space 4df plus whatever it is.
Yeah. Look at that.
Let's see. That's not a defend by too terribly much.
But it is enough.
It is. I'm just debating on whether or not I want to spend a fate point on the creature. Actually, the creature is going to make use of a hungry checkbox to mark a +2 on that, making its result a 3. So it's a 3 against your 2 to do you 1 point of stress.
I mean, that's fine. I'll take the 1 point. I mean, it had to. Yeah, I'll take the 1. That's fine.
All right.
This is not the time.
You're not almost dead, are you?
I mean,
Kidding.
No.
I'm kidding. All right, so that is Ravi. You've taken 1 point of stress. I'm going to go ahead and mark that on my little private character sheet here. Great.
Are you not marking it on the Trello? Oh yeah, you did. I see. Great.
Well, I didn't mark it on the Trello. I marked it on the spreadsheet. So, all right. So let's see who is going to go next. I'm going to have. I'll have Hux go next. So Hux, what would you like to do? The scene, you just saw the legs jump over your friend, or at least compatriot, Charlene, who's dying on the floor. I will tell you that if you don't do anything in a certain amount of time, she will die. It's up to you whether or not you do anything about that. That's fine. And then there's the creature flying around in the room itself. The room is, covered in blood. There is the miasmas in the air. I guess I should add covered in blood as an aspect for the room.
How many turns do I think I have before I can treat her? Or is it like if I don't start now, she'll die?
I'm telling you that there's a finite number of turns that you can ignore her before she dies. Anything more than that would actually require you to use an action to figure out. Like if you tried to help her, I would probably, like, depending on how you described it, probably tell you like what that timer is.
Okay. Seeing the creature that's flying around, so I'm visualizing the hospital room. Is the flying half making menacing motions, or is it just flying around?
It's definitely making menacing motions, but it hasn't like gone into like to attack. Like it's kind of like flying threateningly, but it also like hasn't exactly had its turn yet.
I think just the fact that it exists is threatening, Hux.
Yeah. Okay, then I'm going to, at least for this turn, I'm going to make one shot at the no, because it would get its attention on me. Okay, I'm going to actually take a shot at the legs as I move towards where she is lying on the ground. So my attack this turn is just going to be at the legs as I'm moving over to where her body is.
All right, sounds good. Go ahead. What approach are you using for the shot?
I'm going to use this feels, because this is just blunt. This feels just like force. So
Sounds good. Sounds
yeah.
good. The legs are actually resisting with force as well. Basically, they're not trying to dodge out of the way. They're just like strong enough to like deal with the impact. So they're like super meaty and tough, and so they're like forcefully like not being hurt as much by the bullets. So that roll, holy crap, that roll is a 0 to defend.
Okay. And I am does that count as my roll, or is that just setting up the roll?
No, that's your roll. Your roll is a 2, so that's 2 against my 0. So I am going to spend because I rolled 3, so I got a 0, you got a 2. That means you do 2 points of stress. I rolled 3 negatives on my fate dice, which is a red flag for me to spend a fate point to re-roll it, which is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to use, let's see. Here, hold on.
Yes, GM, tell us the aspects on the bad guy.
Yes, let's see. That's let me just add one more. Kind of keep them sectioned. All right, so there is a lingering ritual power that the creature did, and then I added flickering power to represent the hospital power going in and out. So I'm going to spend a fate point on lingering ritual power, as it's going to tap into a little bit of that. And it's going to re-roll. I will spend my. Let's see. I get a 3. So it defends successfully, and I'm going to leave it at that. Unless you'd like to spend a fate point, John.
I would actually.
All right.
Now I can spend a fate point to just get a bonus to the roll, correct?
That's correct. You can spend a fate point to get a +2 to the roll.
That's what I'm going to do.
All right. What aspect are you using to justify this?
Right now, because I'm trying to. This thing is just in the way of me helping my friend. I feel like I'm going to be using the seeking salvation for what needed to be done.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Sounds good to me. I've moved your fate point off to the side to represent that it's spent.
Okay.
And so, wait a minute. Yeah, because you started with a surplus. Nice. And so that is going to be, that brings it back. That's a 3 against 2. That brings it to a 4. I will take 1 point of stress for the creature. So I take that point of stress. Excellent. You shoot the leg. You shoot it a couple of times. You get a couple of good shots in, but like the last shot actually like hits it in the calf, slowing it down a little bit, causing it a little bit of stress.
Nice.
So great. All right, cool, John. So who goes next, John?
Because I'd like for all of us. Oh, wait, do you really want to go, Ryan? Because I was going to pick the flying monster, and then everyone else could go. But if I pick you, then you might be able to head off the monster. So
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to take the legs out so they don't get another turn.
All right, so Ravi, you're going to go. The legs are right there next to you. You're like, they're kind of like, they're kicking at you, and they are fast, and they hurt.
I am going to use my mace like it is a golf club, and just bat them out of the way. That's what I'm going to do.
Awesome. Make that roll.
And that's an attack
all right.
using force.
All right. It also resists with force. So I got a 2.
So the opposed roll, right?
It is opposed, yeah.
All
1.
Right.
Man, we're all rolling poorly. I got
Yeah,
a 2,
we
you
are
got a
really-
1.
I did okay.
Let's see.
So the question is, do you want to spend any fate points?
I do want to spend a fate point. I think at this point it would be smarter to just take the +2. But I'm going to spend it on. I hate to always to just have this be my go-to, but I am going to spend it on targeted by evil forces, because I know my way around evil forces. I kind of want to use flickering power, but I can't think of a way to make that make sense.
Yeah, that's definitely more of a disadvantageous one. So, so
Right.
that takes you up to a 3. I'll take another point of stress. So the creature is absorbed 2 points of stress in total from everyone. So excellent.
Is
So
it still standing?
yes, it is still standing. So let's see. Yes, the legs are still standing.
All right, let's pass it to upper body.
All right, so top half gets to go.
Yeah, that way we
Totally
get a couple
gross.
turns in a row.
Yeah, saucer section. All right, so let's see. The creature is flying in the air. Let's see. What is it going to do? It is going to do. It is actually going to. So as it's flying around in the air, you see like what looked like just kind of like, you know how whenever you're trying to like scare predators, you kind of like throw your hands up and you're trying to like, like rah, rah, trying to scare them away. Like the creature looks like it was trying to threaten. But eventually what happens is the tracings in the air that its proboscis and its like fingers are doing like start to have like little streak marks, and you can see that it is actually doing some magic. And what it is doing is it is going to attempt to create an advantage to add some free invokes on top of lingering ritual power. So Ravi, you're in the room. You're not exactly close to it, but if you can tell me how you can interfere from a little bit across the hospital room. The hospital room's not that big, but if you can tell me how you can interfere, I can let you oppose it. Otherwise, I'm going to give it a flat 2 difficulty for create advantage. Or Hux, you're there as well.
I mean, I'm still the even if I'm not fighting, one of the demons, I'm still a knight of the Lotus. So I still have supernatural powers, right? Basically, that channel through Vishnu. So I don't have time to set up like a full on protective barrier. But I can definitely react, pop something out, a quick chant or like a quick burst of energy to try to disrupt it.
Sure. Describe what that looks like, and then we'll have a contested roll.
I mean, basically, it's going to look like probably just, almost like reaching, but like, the power just kind of ebbs out of the hand, right? It's not Ravi's power, it's Vishnu's power through Ravi. So just kind of throwing the hand out, a flash of light from the fingertips, and then really you can't actually see the barrier, but
Okay.
it's just there, just long enough to disrupt.
Sounds good. All right, go ahead and roll. That sounds like guile to me.
Okay.
Unless you'd like to justify another one, but guile sounds good because the creature is actually using guile, and my roll is a 1. Yes, keeping those strong rolls going. So for some reason tonight, I keep rolling under what my skills are, or approaches. What my approaches are.
Well,
All right.
I also have a 1, so we're not doing great tonight.
All right. So that is a tie. Create advantage on a tie. Oh, I'm trying to remember. Christopher, do you remember what happens to create advantage on a tie?
I think you just get a boost, right?
Yeah, you
If
just
you
get a
are
boost.
creating an advantage on an existing aspect, you get you get 1 free invoke.
Okay. Then
I'm 87% certain. I'm looking it up right now.
all right, sounds good. I'm going to add that free invoke onto lingering power, and then you can GM free invoke, and then you can let me know. So that was the top half. The top half is going to, we're going to kick it back to Michelle. Michelle, you and Evie are in the hospital room, and you guys are dealing with your current situation. You have the ward up. It's about it's a ward that's maybe 3 or 4 feet bigger than the bed that the pregnant woman is in. It is keeping the miasma at bay, and everyone can walk through the husband kind of reaches over into his bag outside the bubble, no problem. Evie plugs in her laptop nearby to make sure that it's got power while she's looking up C-sections on YouTube, no problem. But you, however, are unable to move out of that barrier. That was part of the cost of creating this barrier, because it was an overcome last time. The indebted was to be able to do it. The overcome roll was insufficient, and the cost was that you're stuck in there until it's dropped. So, at least that's how I remember it. Boost only, not free invoke. Okay, I will leave that free invoke on Lingering Power Ritual because I'm probably going to use it pretty quick. But thank you very much, Christopher. So, Michelle, what are you doing?
I am going to attempt to help this woman out with Evie giving me the proper instructions that she learned on YouTube. I know that this miasma of power is coming from something dark and sinister, since it's causing or because of the effects it's having on this pregnant woman. So I need to get this done, and I need to get this done quick, because there's obviously something nasty around here, and this is just a symptom, not the actual cause. So I am going to try to hastily, I don't know, help deliver baby via C-section.
This is sounding worse and worse.
Yeah, so, I mean, what could go wrong? I mean, it happens on sitcoms all the time. They deliver babies in the back seats of cars.
Right? I mean, Michelle totally watches Dr. Sexy MD.
Ooh. So...
Hey, if it's cool enough for Dean, it's cool enough for Michelle.
This is true. All right, so that sounds like an overcome roll. And what approach were you using?
Haste.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get it done quickly.
All right. Let's see. The difficulty for doing a cesarean section, I'm going to set at a 4, because I think that given the circumstances that's pretty fair. Because you're trying to do it quickly, trying to take care of business and all that jazz. So that means that you are 4 short.
Yeah.
So given that you've got 3 negatives,
I'm gonna spend a fate point to reroll, because as I'm about to do the initial incision, Evie's like, no, not there, over there, 2 more inches up.
All right, so you are using C-section by instructional video to get a 1, which means you are now 3 points deficient.
Right.
So here's the deal. This is a big failure. If you want to spend more fate points, you can. Do you want to spend more fate points, or do you want to talk about succeeding at a cost, or do you want to just fail?
Succeed at a cost. I'm willing to take the price.
All right.
Pay the price.
Let's see. Yeah. So the price. I think that I've got a pretty decent price, and one that's fairly thematic. So you very quickly, with your giant hunting knife, slice her open. This is something that you've done with prey many, many times, so you're very comfortable with it. And so you cut it open, you pull the baby out, and the baby is healthy and happy. The cost for it is going to be that the bubble that you have it's going to kind of like contract around the baby as you draw the baby out. The baby will glow faintly for a moment, and a birthmark is going to appear on the inside of the arm.
Oh boy.
And the cost is going to be that is probably not going to be a good thing.
No.
Yes. So,
I don't remember-
Congratulations, you're a dad.
I don't remember what TV show this is from, but I've seen this episode before.
the Mark of Cain from Supernatural. No.
No, that wasn't because of a bad birthing process.
Baby imbue with power from anonymous Michelle. All right. So I've made a note to make your life more complicated later.
Oh no, it wasn't a TV show. It was from Aragon.
I have not read that.
Me either.
So the bubble comes in, the miasma is a little bit slower to filter in, but eventually it washes over the mother and the father, and they both kind of after a moment with the miasma, just kind of slowly the father sits back in a chair and falls asleep. The woman falls asleep. The baby itself is awake and perfectly alert. There is one of the little baby cribs that they have for this situation. So if you want to, you can put the baby in there
totally.
And leave the baby perfectly fine. So Michelle, who goes next?
Well, I think we should knock the C-section out of the turn order.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Let me just go ahead and archive that. All right, C-section
and I just pass it on to Evie because she's the only one left.
All right, Evie.
I mean, I have no idea what to do now because my plan was to give Michelle assistance, but now there's nothing left to do in the room.
I can think of some people that could use assistance.
Yeah, but we don't know you're in trouble.
I figure we heard...
You heard gunshots.
You probably heard Huck scream when the thing split apart.
Green.
You probably thought it was the pregnant woman, but it was Huck's.
You thought it was Huck's, but it was actually the dying woman.
Yes. Well, I tell you what.
You would have heard the gunshot. You're right.
I tell you what, Mallory, if you want, I can make your life a little bit more difficult and offer you a fate point on, let's see, so that C-section by instructional video actually goes away. However, I can...
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Flickering power.
Oh, okay. No, go ahead.
Okay.
Thank God.
So what I was going to say is the flickering power, I can offer you a fate point on that, and the power goes out on your side of the building. Actually, the power goes out on the entire floor, meaning that everyone is in darkness except for Ravi and Hux, who have a window in the room. So Ravi and Hux, you guys can still see what's going on, but there is it's the middle of the day, so you can see the sunlight coming in through the windows. But Evie, I guess you and Michelle, you guys are in one of the surgical bays, so you would have no external windows. So you're completely in the dark. The hallways are going to be completely in the dark.
I can see in the dark. It's fine.
But Evie can't. So this makes your life more complicated. And then you can decide what you want to do.
I have my laptop, so sure, I'll take it.
All right. I will go ahead and, let's see, give you fate point. There, I just moved it into the pile of fate points.
Okay.
All right. So, what would you like to do about the power suddenly just goes completely out? The generators, everything. It feels like the miasma is kind of choking you. What do you want to do about this situation?
I don't know. How far away are the other two from where we are right now?
Down the hallway. You could, I could say that you could get there as part of an action. If you decided to do something in addition to getting to where they are, there would be a penalty. I would say a -1 penalty just for having to move that far. So you could actually, because it's dark, you would have to make an overcome action. Never mind. You'd have to make an overcome action to get to them. in order to find your way through the hallway.
I can't use my laptop as a flashlight.
That would definitely make it a lot easier to navigate the hallway. So
Okay.
the difficulty would go from a 3 to a 2.
Okay. Because I mean,
You know what? Let me think. You know what? I am going to actually still say that it's an overcome roll using your laptop as a flashlight, because you don't know what else is on the floor and what's in the building. Like, you don't know what's going on. You don't know exactly where Hux and Ravi are. You've heard gunshots. You're going to need to like sneak your way through. So it's going to like be sort of a scary experience.
because what I'd like to do is I'd like to get there, see it, and then try to make up some kind of aspect about, knowing what this thing is, because that's what I do. I research things. I have
And on your next round, you'll be able to do that. And depending on how everything gets passed around, maybe it'll get passed like right back.
Well,
to
here's
you
the thing,
that.
Mallory. You're the last one in initiative order. You can choose yourself to go first next round.
No,
No?
I don't permit people to choose themselves to go first in the next round.
I apologize.
That's the only. Yeah, it's the only limitation to popcorn initiative that I have. Like, you can't choose yourself, because I feel like it always has to move to someone new, because then I as a GM would be like, okay, so like big bad guy, So
Yeah. I find it useful in situations like this where you want to do something that would normally take 2 rounds, so it just makes it seem like it's happening. It's the same shot in the movie,
all right.
even though it's just like an extended. I don't know. Just my opinion.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not going anywhere because I can't see. What I'm instead going to do is I'm going to just check and make sure that the newly born baby are safe, and so are the parents who just had this traumatic experience. And I am going to give Michelle a little pep talk and tell him, go find the others. You got this. The baby's safe. Everything will be fine. And I would like to try and create like some kind of aspect that's like calmed, or like settled situation, or calmed situation. It's not calm, but it's calmed down from where it was before. And I'd like to try to use
under control.
focus to do that.
I think that sounds like a wonderful idea.
Okay.
I'm going to set the difficulty on that to be a 2.
Okay.
Michelle is
Nope.
So what was that?
Nope. Did not mean to do that. No, I did not.
Okay. Yeah, there's
I did
no
not mean
modifier
to click
to
that one.
All right. Yeah, there's no modifier for that.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy cow. You are not heartening anyone. So
I clicked the wrong thing. Nope, that's not it either.
It's been giving me problems.
yeah. So while we wait for Evie to make her dice roll, I have to
What
say
did you
that
say
I really
the difficulty
appreciate
was?
2. The difficulty was
2.
2. Yep. Dose.
Thinking about it.
There we go. You made it.
Nope,
Fantastic.
there's a boost.
So that's a boost. Do you want to pay fate point? Or do you want it to just be a boost?
Yeah. I don't know if any of my aspects apply. And I don't think any of the scene ones either, so I'll just have a boost.
Okay. I added to the Trello board boost for Michelle as a reminder. So that is yours, Christopher. I just want to take a moment right now and thank everyone who is watching us live on Twitch. According to my little screen, we got about 7 people watching, which is fantastic. I hope everybody's having a good time and having a lot of fun. So awesome. All right, so back to the game at hand. So Evie, you have heartened Michelle. Who would you like to have go next? I'm going to go ahead and reset the initiative board while you decide.
Well, let's bounce it off to Michelle.
All right, Michelle, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Your mute button.
Once Michelle sees that Evie has everything under control, I'm gonna run out the door toward the sound of gunfire. You have everything under control in here. I'll go make sure they are okay. And I just bolt out the door. I don't know if I can make it in there and still take an action, or if that is my action.
Yeah, with just a simple -1, just because of the distance. That's the only penalty I'm going to apply. So you get outside the door. You see Charlene lying on the floor dying. You see Hux popping a cap and some disembodied legs that are kicking and attacking Ravi. Ravi is doing his best Arnold Palmer impression, swinging with his mace. There is a giant bat vampire creature flying in the air with some sort of drawing runes in the sky. There's blood everywhere. There's a dead woman that looks like in another universe, your cesarean section went that way. And so the situation is just really bad. So what would Michelle like to do whenever you see that?
It's a very good question. Let me check something here real quick. I'm assuming that the upper body is closer.
No, the kicking legs is closer.
Okay.
The doorway right now, Ravi and the legs are in the doorway. Hux is just beyond those two. Then there's the bed with the flying body above it.
Okay. But the flying body looks like it's trying to do something.
Yes.
Well, the obvious choice is to do a flying tackle, blade first, to attempt to pin the thing to the wall with my long knife, my hunting blade. Have you not learned
don't run with scissors?
It's not scissors. It's a hunting knife. It's fine.
Okay. I thought he was about to do another C-section on my friend, even though she's not pregnant.
No, I know better than that. She's dying, not pregnant. There's a big difference.
All right, so you get to make an attack. It sounds like haste.
I was gonna make an argument for guile because I'm literally popping out from behind Ravi and doing a surprise lunge.
Yep. Okay, I see it. I absolutely see it. Go ahead and do that. The let's see, the Mananagal. I wrote it out phonetically. That doesn't make it any easier. Is going
Lord God in
attempt
heaven
to.
Above.
Oh my God, that's horrible. I might roll better than that. It's going to quickly get out of the way using haste, and it gets a 6 on the defense.
That's like your best roll of the night.
I know. So it gets a boost. Christopher, do you want to re-roll? What would you like to do?
Since I was creating an advantage, because I'm trying to create the pinned to the wall aspect, I'm going to go ahead and take a failure on that. And so I successfully pin it to the wall, but he gets the invoke, not me.
No, I'm going to say that it doesn't get created because it is trying to dodge out of the way. Sometimes I like reversing those aspects, but in this instance, no, it hastily got out of the way.
All right,
well, I expected Michelle to go right at the window.
I will spend a fate point to re-roll that then.
Do you want to spend your boost because Evie made you feel much better?
Oh, I am spending my boost as well.
Okay,
because
so
I
I'll remove the
am
boost.
I am a shinobi for the Earl King's interests, so I know how to impale things with my sword.
All right, and then the boost takes it to a 7.
Then the boost takes it to what you said.
Yes. Just a bunch of numbers, right? Let's see. It is going to use a box of hungry to make its result an 8 against your 7.
And I'm going to spend a point of wild power to be stronger, faster, tougher, to add a +1.
All right, so that is now a tie, which will give you a boost. So you'll have an advantage on it, but it is not going to be pinned to the wall. So you will have an unnamed boost, which makes you
do
break
not have
even.
any other aspects I can invoke to buff it up, unfortunately. So I guess I'll go with the boost.
Well, here's the deal. You can use more sneaky than straightforward since you are jumping out of nowhere using guile. I feel that like that aspect works with this particular approach. So if you want to spend a fate point on more sneaky than straightforward, I think it makes sense here.
Well, I will do that then.
All right, so that takes you to a 10 against its 8. Let's see, and 10 against its 8. I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, you create the aspect. You create the aspect pinned to the wall, and it has a free invoke on it. So that has been added to the Trello board. Ooh, there. All right. So, Christopher, Michel has done his business. Who goes next?
Considering I did a surprise sneak attack ninja jump over Ravi, I want to see how he reacts to me appearing literally out of the darkness.
All right, Ravi, do you attack the darkness?
None of that. None of that here.
I mean, if you
Well,
want, I can spec out a gazebo.
Are there girls there?
I kind of want to say that like Ravi has like almost near supernatural senses. So when Michelle comes out of the darkness, Ravi like does like a like a matrix thing to lower himself so that Michelle can just pop out underneath him, like over the top of him. And then now that he's done that, and the thing is off balance, I'm just gonna try to just beat it with my just hit it as hard as I can.
Hit it with a stick.
Yeah, but I'm gonna try to create an advantage. I'm not really trying to damage it, as my whole goal here is to daze it, kind of put it off balance so that maybe Hux can come in for like a better blow. So like my goal is to like
create advantage.
Create an advantage, but like to daze it.
Yep, that sounds great. And a mace is a great thing to try and daze with. So go ahead and make that roll. You are dazing the
flying thing.
the flying half.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
All
the
right.
top.
And
I'm doing that with force.
Yes, it is. Since it is pinned to the wall, haste really isn't going to be the best. It is going to attempt to forcefully.
Actually, can I make the argument that much like Sherlock Holmes, I know the exact like angle and location to whack this thing in the head to like disrupt its senses and use intelligent instead of force?
In this instance, no. You don't have a whole lot of okay. So looking at your aspects don't have like a Sherlock kind of vibe. You do have
they're
always
not.
hiding. Yeah, you have always hiding behind a book, which it's like maybe that could be used for something like that, but it's not something that feels like your character's approach to use intellect to destroy creatures. Like you've been using force more often. if you had some more prep work, like for instance, maybe if Evie had created an aspect like weak point, I could see that. But in this instance, I say no. But Mallory, Christopher, John, if you guys feel like that's acceptable to you guys, then I'm fine to be overridden. I'm just the
It's
chairman,
fine
not
for me. It's only a 1 point difference in my roll, so I was grasping at straws to get that +1. So I don't. I mean, what you're
Sound
saying
logic,
makes
Randy.
sense. I mean,
Okay.
Ravi is no Sherlock Holmes.
If you had tried hitting it physically and it wasn't having any effect, maybe. But this really feels like it's your first time fighting it. So you're
I'm
gonna
gonna hit it.
I'm
I'm gonna hit it with the mace and see if it gets dazed.
The trick is hitting him real hard with the bat.
What's the difficulty of that creating advantage?
It is resisted by its force. It's forcefully trying to just push the
So it's
take the mace and kind of push it aside. It's using
It's
force
gonna be
to resist.
opposed. It'll
It's
be
opposed. Yes. Yes.
Okay. 2. Hey.
Against 1. That's what in the world is going on here, man. I'm rolling.
But if I get it, if I beat it by 2, I get a bonus.
If you beat it by 3.
I beat it by 3.
Yes, that is success with style. So you're 2 against my 1. I've got a lot of fate points, but this combat's been going on for a while, so I'm going to say you get dazed, and dazed is going to have a free invoke on it. All right, so it is pinned to the wall. It has a free invoke. So tell me, who goes next, Ravi?
This is a new set, right? So
Yep.
I'm
so
gonna pass it over to Evie.
All right. Evie, you're in the darkness. Everybody's okay. The baby cries a little bit. Not like that real loud, obnoxious baby cry, but like newborns kind of like mule a little bit. Just letting you know that the baby is awake and alert in this miasma, which is super weird. But what would Evie like to do?
I feel like I should go over there and help. Then I can't actually do anything.
That's not necessarily true. There's a lot of different things that you can do. Like you've got, I'm looking at the wrong character. You are, a vampire. So like you could do some stuff. But I know that you're not built for that, but you can, your aspects really don't help.
No.
Well, you're kind of the brains though. Like you're the, like in Supernatural, they have the journal from their dad that they always look in and they're like, oh, this is that. You're like the living version of that.
Yeah,
you're like
I mean,
Evie's the
basically,
journal.
I mean,
you're the one that pops in. You're like,
I need
that's
to
a
be able,
so-and-so thing.
I need to be able to see this thing, and I need to be able to tell you guys about it because, like, right now you're actively in combat, so.
Mallory, you can get there and see the creature, and then if you want to, like, you could use your cellular data from your phone to allow your computer to, connect to the internet to start doing research in an attempt to create an advantage on what this creature is. It would suffer a -1 penalty just because you're going a distance in the hospital.
Okay.
But that is entirely possible.
Okay. Basically, as long as I can do that, sure, I will go over there. All right. I'll use my phone to light my way. Just pull up the little app where I can turn the camera flash on permanently as I'm walking. I'll get there and just be like, oh, okay. Kind of just back myself up into a corner and just kind of like furiously start typing because I do not want that thing to notice me.
So I'm imagining that like there's the doorway and like you're out in the hallway, like around the corner, like on your laptop so that it can't see you, but like you can peer around the hallway to like look at it periodically while you're like doing your typing.
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of advantage do you want to try and create for this critter?
Okay. I found your weak point.
You want to try and find it. You want to try and find a weakness for it.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. Yes. So go ahead. I'm going to say, given the circumstances and everything, I'm going to set the difficulty for this at a 3.
Okay.
It is an overcome, or no, it's a create advantage. Sorry, create advantage. And the difficulty is 3.
Using my intellect. 3. Just thinking about it. Okay, I got a 3.
All
I'm
right,
going
you got
to
it.
mark off a box of knowledge
Yeah.
using my chasing rumors stunt, which gives me a +2 when I make rolls to overcome or create an advantage when your
Okay.
research into supernatural threats is relevant. So I feel like this is relevant.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that'll bring me up to a 5, which is a success.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, Christopher, for remembering.
Should Charlene be on the turn order? So that we
She
don't
probably
forget.
should.
Okay.
All right.
On her turn, she bleeds out.
Yay.
No, I was just getting to her.
So let's see. So that is successfully created. The weak point for the creature. And let's see. I've got it. So the aspect that you have is can only be killed by a concoction of garlic, herbs, and a stingray's tail.
All available at the hospital.
Surprisingly, no. Basically, so Evie, you do some research, and it turns out that these creatures are nigh immortal. There is this concoction of garlic, herbs, and stingray tail can take them out. Anything less than that, and they will come back. They can be beaten to a pulp. So in that way can be taken out. And like neutralized, but it's temporarily neutralized unless you do it permanently. So the the weak point, and I know that this backfired a little bit, but the weak point for this particular creature.
Okay. Well, it might be good
so-
for the future, so who knows?
Yes.
Yep. Can always make a potion.
Yeah. I turned my head back around the corner to tell whoever is closest to me, which I guess might be. It's probably either going to be Michelle or Robbie.
I'm above the bed,
Yeah. It's
standing on the
probably Ravi or
headboard,
Hux.
holding the top half into the wall with my knife. So I don't think I'm that close to you.
Okay. I
Hux
turned my
is
head.
probably
I turned.
pretty close.
I turned my head around the corner and I go, Hux, listen, you
What?
just need to beat it. Just beat the crap out of it.
Hey,
Beat
you
it
know,
to a
I'm great
pulp.
at that.
We can't kill it.
That's disheartening.
No, but if you keep hitting it, it will go away. So just keep doing that.
We hit a lot of things and they go away. We hit the crab thing, went away. The crab thing hit me, I went away. We're going to hit this thing, hopefully it goes away.
Well, in this case, it'll just go away temporarily. So just try to keep hitting it until it's gone, and then maybe we can get rid of it permanently later.
Okay.
Do you have a stingray tail? I don't think you have a stingray tail.
No, it's another that I think Hux is going to do a slow turn of, why would I have a stingray tail?
Well, if you want to kill it, we need a stingray tail, but you don't have one. So we just got to deal with it.
Now, I mean, if you were
Where's
that
Steve Irwin when you need him?
I was just about this. I was about to make that joke, John. Like apparently, like this creature and Steve Irwin have the same weakness. All right, too soon. Sorry. All right, so Evie, that was your turn. Who comes next?
Okay. Let's see. Well, we've kind of top loaded a little bit. So I guess the top half is gonna go.
The top half. All right. Let's see. The top half. Let's see. It is currently pinned to the wall, dazed. Let's see. It does have some lingering ritual power. It is actually going to. It is going to attempt to bite Michelle. Michelle, you've got it stabbed. You're kind of holding it. You're like on the bed, holding it there.
Yeah.
Its proboscis is going to kind of like come straight at you. I just want to make sure that I do this correctly with the mantle that I'm using. So, Red Court Vampire. Vampire. Oh, I have to establish advantage on your target. It's So here's a question. Since you're actively pinning it to the wall, does that count as advantage on your target? No, because that would be a crappy GM thing to do. So of course, just so you know, I want to do it, but I'm not going to. It is just going to attack. It is going to the proboscis is very fast, and it's basically just kind of like it's like biting at you, and it is going to attempt to bite you a bunch of times. How would you like to resist?
I'm going to duck, dodge, and weave the very best that I can.
All right, that sounds like haste.
Yep.
All right, I got a 4, a positive number. Ooh, against a 0, I like that.
It is dazed, so it's gonna
It is.
make mine into a 2.
All right, we spend the fray. Dazed. All right. It is pinned to the wall.
I'll take 2 stress.
No, because I'm going to spend its boost that it has on lingering ritual power, as it is heartened by the magical energies that it has released with this ritual, and so that brings it back to a 4 stress hit for you. Do you want to spend any more fate points?
I don't really have many to spend, so I'm going to take 4 stress.
It is actually going to spend 2 more boxes of hungry, making it an 8 stress hit.
Of course it is.
Yes. So that is an 8 stress hit. And then actually it is going to... I didn't write down its ones. It is going to... It has a aspect of Blood Drinker, and I'm going to spend one of my fate points on that, making it a 10 stress hit against Michelle.
Okay.
So, Michelle, you have 6 stress boxes that can absorb it, potentially. And then you have the Imperil, which could absorb the other 4, if you choose to absorb it that way. You could do it differently, but that's probably going to be the best way to do it.
Well, I will spend the boost of or the free invoke of pin to the wall because it's trying, but it can't quite get to me.
All right, that takes it to an 8.
So it's going to take it down to an 8. And I think I'm going to take Imperil and 4 stress to absorb that, and my Imperil aspect is going to be blood loss.
That sounds good. One thing that I want to point out is that an 8 stress hit and a 10 stress hit are functionally identical on how you absorb it. So if you want to keep that pinned to the wall free invoke, that way you have it instead of having spent it for no good reason.
Well, it gives me 2 extra stress free because Imperil takes 4 stress and then that leaves 4 remaining. So
yeah, okay, yeah, no, I see what you're saying.
So
okay,
I've got 2 stress boxes still available.
Gotcha. All right, so let me mark that, and then your Imperil is blood loss. All right, cool. All right, so that is the top half, having got off a big hit.
Ow.
Remove my fate point. Why? How many fate points do I have in my stack? Holy cow. All right. There, that's an accurate representation of what I should have. I'm just like, I know I've got infinite fate points as a GM, but this is not right.
It's a little out of hand.
Yeah, like this is crazy. All right, so that was top half. Top half is going to say legs.
Oh.
Take it away. So the legs are going to continue to pummel Ravi. So Ravi, it is going to forcefully attack you. Basically, the legs are going to jump up on the little chair that's in the room, kip against the wall, reverse back, and kick at your chest.
Oh, well, all right, bring it on.
Yeah. Parkour.
Parkour. My defense is gonna have to be force on that.
All right. Go ahead and
I
roll
will
it.
Just try to bear it out. All right.
All right. Give us a dice roll. I rolled a 3.
All right.
Go Ryan.
Appar-
Go Ryan. Go Ryan. Go
I'm gonna
Ryan.
defend.
Roll poorly.
With
Roll
force.
poorly. Roll
You got a
poorly.
3. Oh boy.
I got a 3. Yeah.
All right.
Go
let's see.
Ryan.
So.
Oh, a whopping
Oh.
0.
Oh,
You
I did
accurately
get all of my.
described it.
Man, I got all of my rolls out, like my bad rolls out
I had
early. That
2
was
zeros
nice.
and 2 blanks. You rolled a 3. Man, I think I'm going to I think I'm gonna use one of my fate points to re-roll that.
Remember, there
Still
is
have-
also the free invoke as well.
I think I'm going to use the free invoke to re-roll that.
The free invoke and can only be killed by a concoction of garlic herbs.
Oh,
which
that's not
represents,
gonna.
like-
You're right.
Well, here's the thing. Evie said like you just have to beat it to death. So I'll let you use that free invoke off of that to.
All right, because I'm like, I'm not like now. I'm like, okay, all we have to do is beat it to death. Like, this thing's not so scary. We'll just beat it, right? Like, it takes that fear of the unknown away, right? So,
beat it. Yeah.
Do.
So
all right,
yeah. So go ahead and re-roll.
I'm
Ryan.
gonna re-roll. I wish there was just a re-roll button, but there's not.
Yeah, I know.
Just saying, this
So-
creature's got legs and he knows how to use them.
I have been specifically not making that one because I wanted to see if someone else would. Thank you, John. You restore
All
my
right,
faith
Come
in
on,
humanity.
better roll.
Come
Come
on.
on.
I got a 3 and you
Oh,
got a 1.
wow. At least
Nice.
now I could spend a fate point and tie it.
You could, but it's also 2 stress, and that stress track, you have 1 point of stress on your stress track out of 6. That like at the end of every like scene, it goes away.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, do what you want to. If you want to spend a fate point, I'm happy to deplete you of resources. But so
No, you
what
know
would
what?
like to do?
I'll take the hit. It's okay.
All right. Okay.
I gave it my best effort. I'm not afraid of it, but apparently it still hits pretty hard.
And hey, let's be honest. Like I described that parkour hit pretty well. So like,
You did. That was a pretty.
I deserve it. I deserve it. I'm going to break my arm, pat myself on the back.
Let the Wookiee
Hux, your turn.
Okay.
Charlene doesn't actually have a turn. She's just an initiative as a reminder that she's dying. She's
Well-
unconscious now.
Hey,
Well,
don't
that-
forget about me.
No,
What?
that's exactly what I was
You-
going to do this turn.
Oh, we
No,
did
I was
forget
just
about
saying.
Evie.
I was voice acting Charlene, like, hey, don't forget about me. I'm dying.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm bleeding. Please help. Hey,
Yeah, Huck
You
should be the
know,
last to go
I'm
for
going to do
this
that
pass.
voice for her.
Hux, you're my friend. You need to help
You're
my
me,
friend, Hux.
please. Hux, bandage my wounds, or I'm gonna die. Yay!
It's amazing that she manages to keep that tone while dying on the ground.
Well, at this point, I'm just
I
going to
know,
grab the
right?
pillow.
I'm so optimistic. Yay!
It's all the
No,
morphine.
Okay, so the lights are out in the room, right?
Yes, but there's plenty of light coming in from the windows, like large windows, like hospital style windows, like the whole like outer wall is windows. So you have plenty enough light to see in the room itself.
But are there shadows across her?
What are you looking for? Are you looking for whether or not it's going to be harder or easier or like?
No, I have an
why
ability
do you
called
ask?
Cloak of Shadows, which once per scene, I can use it to make one successful hide check as long as there is a shadow nearby. And what my goal was I was going to run over to help her, but to take us out of the fight so that the monsters don't turn their attention back to us, I was going to use
it.
my shadow.
Yes. There's a shadow from the bed coming down. The shadow from Michelle holding the monster, pinning it against the wall, like helps with the shadow, and you are able to throw down your cloak of shadows. Describe for me what that looks like.
Okay, so seeing her, like her eyes are probably rolling back. So seeing her as the life's fading from her, I'm just going to lower my gun and make like a dive for her, and then calling upon the inner fey blood that runs through me. I could have decided between Raven or Bat Wings, but just go with Raven Wings. Just surround me and then surround her, and then you guys have no idea where we went. There's literally, she was lying on the ground. There is nothing except for the shadow. And then once I've got in the shadow, I'm not going to be able to act this turn, but I'm going to start seeing what I need to do to help.
Well, that ability doesn't count as an action. That's a stunt you have, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Then
so you do that. Now what do you want to do?
I'm trying to find out what she needs.
She needs medical help is what she needs. So how do you approach giving her medical help? Like, she has a wound in her abdomen. It's bleeding. She's obviously unconscious. What do you want to do to try and prevent her from dying?
Well, normally I would try to trick her wound into not killing her because that's what I'm good at. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to invoke. Nope. I'm going to use intellect because it's the only one that really apply here because really nothing else. I mean, I don't even see haste really applying because I don't know about hastily helping someone not bleed.
So, I can see intellect. I can also see force because you apply pressure to those sorts of wounds. I don't know if that's any better for you, but I can see both of those.
It's one better, so I'll take force. And then I am literally just, as an operative for the discarded, I've seen wounds before. So I would know how to at least keep blood from coming out. Hopefully.
Sounds good. Sounds good to me. So go ahead and roll force. You are attempting an overcome roll. I'm going to say that the difficulty is 3 for this. Just because she has gone untended for a little while. And so it's a little bit more difficult. So I will set that difficulty at a 3.
Overcome.
Yep.
Force. And then, just 0.
So here's the deal. You can choose to succeed at a cost. Let's see. The cost in this instance is going to be that your cloak of shadows just kind of like fades away and you're revealed once again to everybody that's going on. Let me think. Her condition also, like, she gets a little bit more pale. Like, it looks like it's not like, well, that's the reverse of what you were trying to do. So you actually are going to appear in the scene with the cloak falling away. And I'm going to say that the legs take a swipe at you. As you, like, when you reappear, like, you're focusing on, like, the wounds, and it's going to do you 2 points of stress.
Can I spend a fate point to try to reroll it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If you'd rather do that, sure. So let's see. So Hux, what aspect are you using to justify the reroll?
I'm going to say Toe and Fey Waters because I'm invoking the part of myself I said I wouldn't invoke to try to save her.
Ooh, nice. I like that. Go for it. Reroll.
Let the angst flow through you.
Here we go. Come on. Yes!
Nice. So that is success at a minor cost because you tied the roll.
Okay.
Let's see. So I'm going to say that the minor cost is that the cloak of shadows that you have hidden, you're going to be hidden overly long in your cloak of shadows. Like, after the combat resolves, you're still going to be hidden for a while. So,
Uh-oh.
but yeah, so that's like the cost is like you tapped into this fey nature of yourself, and so you're like going to have a little bit of a harder time like coming back.
Okay.
All right, so that
real quick-
is
Real quick,
Yes.
I'm altering my character sheet in the Excel file because invoking my Fey ability, I get to do that 3 times before I then have to choose to be permanently human or permanently Fey.
Yes.
So I don't have boxes. I'm just going to add boxes. And
yeah, I don't know if you've got editing rights to it.
oh, okay.
But that is a good reminder for me to add that. Did you actually you didn't actually spend a box. We just narratively kind of tied into yourself. Isn't that what we did?
Whenever you invoke your Fey stunt as a changeling, you take one.
The Cloak of Shadows. Okay, yes, I will add that to your jazz. All right, cool. All right, so that is everybody has gone, and Hux, you get to decide who goes next.
All right. I think we're doing pretty well in this combat. I'm going to see if Ravi can hit it again really hard.
I mean, yeah, I can keep hitting it as hard as it needs to be hit.
All right.
I guess I can't shout it anymore. But
Just-
I think you guys
just
heard
gonna
her
Just
hallway
beat it.
in the face.
We got it. We got the tip.
The room's not that big.
We're gonna beat it. We're gonna beat it to death, to undeath,
To redeath?
I've got this great plan.
to
Beat it.
re-death.
I have
Yeah.
All right.
attack.
So
Hit it with a rock.
Yes. It is pinned. It is going to resist your attack with force. I assume you're attacking. Is that correct?
Yeah, with force, sure.
All right. And it was resisting with force, and I got a 0.
All right,
Big
come on,
fat
lucky die
nom.
roll. Let's do this. 2. Ooh,
All
man,
right.
There you go.
Do you want to spend
we
some
just-
fate points on that?
I do want to spend some fate points. It needs to be.
All right. Yeah, Ravi,
destroyed.
you've got 3.
This is
You've got
taking
3
too
fate
long.
points. You've got a lot of aspects you can use. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna spend 1 on pin to the wall.
You can also spend 1
Oh, no,
on
the-
pinned to death
On
or beat
on-
to death.
beat
Right.
to death. You mean on can only be killed by a concoction of garlic herbs and stingray tails?
Yes, I'm updating it. There we go.
Also
Beat it
by
to
beaten to death. Yes, I will spend 1 fate point on beat it to death.
All right.
That is an amazing aspect. I love it.
There. All right. All right. So you spend
That's
1
probably
on
still not
that.
enough to take care of it.
Well, that takes it to a 4. Do you want to spend any more?
Sure. Let's go all out on this thing. I know I can't do this, but I want to spend another fate point on beat it to death even more. Where's that aspect?
Yeah. No. You,
All right,
you can't
I'm-
do that. You could spend 1 on dazed. You can spend
I was
one on pinned to the
originally
wall.
going to spend it on, well, let's pin to the wall. That makes sense because it's just
Mm-hmm.
literally sitting there waiting for me to beat it to death.
Sure. So that is a 6 stress hit. Is that where you're going to stop? I'm not
Yeah.
chipping in any fate points. To
Is
oppose this.
Michelle still holding it against the wall, still pinning it?
Yep.
Okay, because
Yes.
I'm basically like, Michelle,
Weakly,
bring that
but
head
yes.
over. You know, Michelle could slide it down so that the thing just
Mhm.
connects right with its head, right?
Yep.
A little teamwork effort. Yeah, let's leave it at that. That's about the best I could do.
All right. Teamwork makes the dream work. And with that, you smash its head in. And its arms stop waving around, and it kind of like goes limp and hangs there from Michelle's huntsman dagger. Or like
I'm gonna
long
look back
knife.
at Evie and be like, Evie, it looks dead. Tell me it's tell me it's dead.
The legs are still kicking.
Well, the legs are, but maybe the body's dead.
Still kicking.
Prim
Still kicking?
shot. Yeah.
Any
no.
takers? Thank you.
You
Oh,
did it,
man.
You got it in there.
All right.
Let's.
I swear I
pass
didn't
it.
choose this monster just for puns.
But it works so well.
How about we just let's give the legs one last shot, and then it'll be all us. So let's pass it to the legs.
All right.
And then,
the legs
you know,
concede.
it can split if it needs to.
Yes, the
Huh?
legs
Huh?
concede.
The legs split. One left leg and right leg split apart.
No more saucer section splits, but the legs do split. They jump past Ravi, and they are going to leave. So the legs are going to like just basically kind of like run down the hallway and attempt to make good their escape.
Clearly, it was scared.
So-
We knew it's Achilles' heel.
Hux, you didn't stop those legs from just running out the door?
Hux is nowhere to be seen.
Allez, frappez les pieds, hein?
Well, I don't know. I don't know that until I turn around and then go. What just happened? Wait, what?
How do you say hit the feet?
That's true. Who actually saw Hux disappear?
Probably
No.
me. Maybe.
Maybe Evie, but Michelle and I weren't even facing that. So like,
No.
I just turned around and he's just gone.
And
Can he
at this
still
point,
talk?
Michelle just falls onto the bed, exhausted from the blood loss.
Hey, maybe we
So-
should help
On
this
top of the
dying
dead
person.
pregnant woman.
Yeah.
The legs are gone. Then
Yeah,
Legs-
the legs,
the
the
legs
legs
ran
are
out the
running
they just
down the
ran.
hallway,
They just ran right past me.
right past you.
Okay.
They're like, I'm getting out of here.
I just
Opportunity
kind
attack.
of. I just kind of step in, look around. If
What do we
you
do
want
with
to
this
go
head?
after them, the legs went that way,
No.
but
it's-
it's kind of moving real fast.
somebody get a trash bag for this upper body. I don't know what to do with this torso.
Randy, once I realize combat's over, that's when I'm going to try to disengage my power. But I think that because of the condition you said earlier, I'm not going to be able to do that. But can I let her go and then Charlene appears?
No, it's going to be another moment before you reappear.
Okay.
Can we spend a fate point to say that we just leave the hospital? We just think Hux abandoned us.
No, basically, I want to see what you guys want to do with the saucer section part of the
I don't-
vampire.
I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna ask Evie. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. I don't know. Normally, I don't know what I would do with the body. Burn it, probably, or something.
Fire is always good.
Listen, we need to go like now because
We can't
It's
leave.
gonna-
Yeah, Hux is gone.
yeah, well, he kind of just disappeared in a cloak of shadow. So I feel like we just need to leave now because there's a dead pregnant woman and there's a whole bunch of people who just passed out in this wing of the hospital and we're the only ones awake. So if we don't go now, we're going to get blamed for
You
all
killed a
of
pregnant
this.
woman? I don't think anybody can hear.
Yeah, Randy, I was just
At-
going to ask.
at-
In Cloak of Shadows, can we hear him at least?
At this point, he reappears. Part of the cost is
Oh.
that his power was like not 100% certain. That was part of the the
Okay.
cost of the overcome. So he now reappears with Charlene. He's like addressing her wound, but it's obvious that she needs further medical attention. What do you guys want to do?
I need
Need to
medical
leave.
attention.
We need to go.
Well, Michelle and Charlene both need medical attention.
Yeah.
Let's just
So-
drop them off at the ER wing. I think this is gone now because that thing left. We need to go.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
Liz-
I also agree, but you know. All right, well, let's.
I mean, I don't know if you guys have read as many stories and know as much as I do, but these things always end up badly for the people who stick around. So we need to leave.
No, I agree. Don't talk to
Well-
cops. Don't admit to anything. We were never here. So let's go down there with this stranger we just found and this bisected stranger that we don't know.
I thought
and-
you knew her.
Oh, I know. You have a lot to learn about the ways of the world.
Listen,
Come
is
on.
she stable? Is this woman stable?
She is stable, but
All
she
right.
needs surgery.
Then leave her in an elevator. We'll send it down to the bottom floor. Somebody will see her, get her out. She'll be fine.
Okay.
So Michelle, I want to offer you a fate point.
Of course you do.
I love offering fate points. So the fate point that I'm going to offer you is on the, oh goodness, I think I'm going to make it novice. It's either novice or new in town, one of the two. Your character is more in more in tune with like the Earl King's interest in the Earl King's world, not so much the world that we're in, like the the district and human life. And so the fate point is you're going to look out the window and you're going to see a bunch of cop cars pulling up to the hospital. And you're just going to assume that they're ambulances showing up. And you're not going to mention that the cops have arrived in force. So the complication is that the police have arrived, but no one's going to know. Would you like a fate point, or would you like to buy it off?
At this point, Michelle may be new in town, but he's watched enough American movies to know the difference between a cop car and an ambulance. And so he is going to hobble over to the window. The police are here. I think it is time for us to leave. I'm totally going to buy that off.
So I spent the fate point. I'm going to put a free invoke on New in Town because if New in Town, novice, I think New in Town.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Because if you remember, we discussed using the new suggested rules for buying off compels, which is whenever you spend the fate point to buy off a compel, you get a free invoke on an aspect that relates to your not doing that thing. And so as long as we're all still cool with that, free invoke on New in Town. All right. And the police have arrived and surrounded the building.
Crap.
It is time to go.
Wait.
There we go. I shut my laptop, put it in my bag.
Are the security cameras out?
The power's out.
I would assume.
Yeah.
They don't really know that we're here. So, yeah, let's just go downstairs and we're just as confused
As everybody else.
Except for Michelle, who has a giant amount of bite marks and scratches in his clothes and, all that good
It
jazz.
is okay. Just meet me at... Zut alors. Je suis fatigué. Meet me at the car. I will not bother anyone with my appearance. And right when I say that, I disappear in a cloak of shadows.
All right, how many of us can do that?
Where do I sign up for the cloak? Because I kind of want one.
Evie's
have
walking
to-
down the hallway.
You have to be Fae
Yeah,
related.
I'm just going with Evie. We look normal. I'll put my mace back in my bag and sling that bag back over my shoulder.
I will meet you guys at the car, but I pick up Charlene and I head for the elevator, but I'm holding on to her. And I'm going down to the ER.
You're holding on to her? She's not an object.
She's unconscious.
She just takes up one slot in her bag. It's fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
so-
Just stuff her in the bag of holding. It's fine. She'll have enough air for 60 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, come on. That's the way that
Oh, I
works.
thought it was
She can
60 rounds.
She can poke her head out of the bag.
Yeah. All right. So,
look into the bag with a head in it.
all right. So Hux is going to the emergency room with Charlene. Ravi, Evie, are you guys going separately, or are you going with Hux?
No, we can go together. I don't see why we should leave separately.
All right. So Hux, you guys all head to the ER. You get Charlene. They immediately, produce a stretcher for her. They ask what happened.
I found her like this on the upper floor. I went in to go visit her. I don't know. Did she have surgery? Did she pop her stitches?
What's her name?
Charlene.
They kind of type it into the computer. They're like, she's not a patient here.
Well,
Okay,
I don't know anything.
That's fine. Yeah. All right. So they take her. They're going to do what they're supposed to do. They ask you a few more questions, and then the police kind of come into the building. What are you guys, Ravi and Evie and Hux? What are you guys going to do to bypass the police?
I duck into the bathroom.
Because, like, let's be honest, you guys were, like, Ravi, you were fighting in a room covered in blood with your mace.
True.
You know,
I
Hux,
was.
like, let me
Well,
think. I
we're-
don't think Hux got hit. Hux didn't get
Nope.
hit. So, like, Evie and Hux could probably slide by fairly easily, but you're a little
I'm
bit
just
more
an
difficult.
innocent young woman. I have no
Okay.
idea what's happening here. Just please let me go back home. I
Then we
was here
can't be the
visiting my
only.
mom, and now like all this is happening.
know what I'm doing.
I just want to leave.
For Ravi, I pull off
Okay.
my coat and I hand it to him, and I'm like, "Look, just button up."
But
The coat, not you.
We can't be the only people leaving the hospital, right? There's probably other
No.
people evacuating the hospital, isn't there?
Yeah, no. With Hux's coat, you can bypass the police fine. I just wanted, like, you know, like, you were in a fight.
'Cause-
You just, you know, need to, like, get past them. It's not a big thing. I just wanted to know how you guys got past.
You had some undead vampire blood on your shirt there, man. It's kind of weird.
Just punch yourself in the nose, just right now, really hard.
Yeah, if anybody asks Evie any questions, she's just gonna say, "I was just here visiting my mom. She works here as a nurse, and we were gonna have like an early dinner together, but now like all this has happened. She's fine. I want to go home. Just please let me leave." And if nobody bothers her, she's gonna walk out.
Yeah, the
So-
police are just they're like, you know, anybody who looks mildly suspicious they talk to, but generally you guys can get by pretty easily. Is it true that Evie's mother works at the hospital, or is that a lie?
No, absolutely
All
not.
right. All
She
right,
would have
just
pulled.
making
She
sure.
would have pulled a name off the databases to use.
Fair enough. All right, so you guys managed to get outside the hospital, and you all meet up at Evie's busted ass van, where Michelle
Robbie's.
comes from.
It's Robbie's van.
Robbie's van.
It's Robbie's
Yes.
van.
Yeah.
It's
Robbie,
always
I'm
been
sorry.
Robbie's van. It's
Evie can't afford a car.
It's actually Robbie's
Yeah.
mom's van, to be
Oh.
really specific about it.
All right,
She's
so
also too
Robbie's-
lazy to maintain a car, so she would never own one.
So Ravi's mom's van, Michelle comes around the corner of it, and you guys all meet up there. What would you guys like to do?
Pass out in the back seat.
How about we figure out what just happened?
Well,
At this
that thing
point,
was a word I can't say. What is it again?
Phenomena.
Manamana.
Mananago.
I'm gonna paste it in the chat. Hold on. Let's see.
Okay.
Manana.
There it is.
So
Yeah.
That
at
thing.
this point, so much crazy crap has happened. I forgot why we were looking for her in the first place.
Well, so as a GM, let me remind you, the very first session, there was the blue crab demon. The blue crab demon dropped the book, the Picatrix, which is one of 4 ancient tomes. And these ancient tomes could be used. Whoever's typing, if they could mute themselves, that'd be jazzy. I need to
Oh, it's
pull
an
up.
Oswang.
Sorry, I'm looking to pull up. Here we go. The Picatrix, the book that you found is one of 4 books. It is written in Arabic. Let's see. It was originally the title of it translates roughly into the aim of the sage or the goal of the wise. It's from the 11th century. It is composed of both magic and astrology. It is referred to as a handbook of talismanic magic. So basically, it is a powerful artifact. And these are the original texts. It has been transcribed into different languages and printed over and over again. So in Dresden file sort of lore, it would have lost most of its potency as ritual magic because it's very well known. However, for some reason, this demonic creature that you encountered, the blue crab, wanted this. It was in the possession of Neville Middleton, a political bigwig that is of special interest to basically all of you. And you guys wanted to do some more research on the book. Hux knew Charlene Bagley, who works at an auction house and may be able to track the book down.
That's right.
So she's, yes. So
That's
you
what
guys
she was-
basically
I-
wanted to try and like find some more information on what was going on.
I couldn't remember why
and so-
specifically we were looking for her, just that we were.
Yeah. So I know it's been a
Yeah, I
while
knew
since
it
we
was
played
related to
because
the
of
book.
our break. So
Well,
So,
now
yeah,
we can get her back, try to... I mean, Hux still has her in his inventory, right?
No, I turned her in for XP.
You brought her back with us on the van, though, right, Hux?
no,
No.
he dropped her at the ER to get taken care of because she was.
Well, so
in a
that we're
bad
still
way.
we're still back. We're back to square one then.
Yeah.
Quest reward
basically.
gives him the
Well, we'll
good guy
want to
credit.
go back and visit her then when she gets more stable. Maybe we actually ask her the questions we've been trying to ask, right?
Hux wouldn't try like it's not part of what Hux does. If he trusts someone, then he's not gonna try to use them for gain if they're suffering. As much as he, is a jerk on the surface, he literally would be like, "No, I'm not taking her with me," because then I would have to care for her wound, and I suck at caring for wounds. I'll kill her. So no. And he's not a real doctor. Wait, I don't know that you put up that person, do I? Never mind. But no, it's that's kind of the drawback to Hux. But we're not necessarily the leads because we're looking for a Polynesian vampire and a giant crab demon, and so we've got leads on what this monster could be. And a Polynesian vampire is incredibly rare. And don't they have like incredibly rare like feeding types? Like, do they always feed through like proboscis into their victims?
Yes,
Yes.
they do. Thank you for doing my job for me, Hux.
No, I was asking. No, because you didn't say it earlier, did you? That was on narration. Never mind. Dang it. Well, I was asking, do they always feed that way? Is what I guess what Hux would ask.
Yes, they always feed through their proboscis, as you said. Yes, it's a weird, strange creature. If we wanted to actually kill it, it would be quite the task. But I mean, the thing is, it kind of makes sense that it was in the pediatric ward because it feeds on fetuses. So it's not unnatural that we found it there. It's just very disturbing that we happened to be there at the same time when it was there and also Charlene was there. So that is more of the bad thing. And I also don't know what caused the miasma. So that's still a mystery that needs to be solved. Regardless, does anybody else have any other contacts who might know more about this book? Because I might know somebody, but
I can help track down somebody, but I am new here. I don't know anybody besides you three.
I'm sure that there is a rare and magical book sales shop somewhere in DC. I mean, there's one in like every major city. There's
At least.
And I'm guessing
Robbie.
at least Michelle and I would probably have been there before.
Well, so here's the question. So Ravi, I got a fate point for you as I'm going to compel always hiding behind a book.
Oh yeah, that's a good fate point.
Yes. Yes. So I figure you might want a fate point. Always
do.
hiding behind a book. You actually know the right shop for this. It is a Hindi bookstore that specializes in the arcane and the occult.
There we go. I probably know the guy that runs it and everything too.
The problem is that you know the guy who runs this shop, who is very good friends with your mother. And basically, like, this is going to cause all sorts of complications for your family life because your mother's going to find out that you're in this, like, mystical arts Hindi bookstore, investigating all of this. Like, whatever happens, like, it will be known. So part of the fate point is that, like, you can't just point everybody at it and stay outside. Part of the fate point is that, like, you have to communicate with this guy because, like, maybe like you're the only one who speaks Hindi.
Yeah, I'll take it.
He's your Uncle Bravi. He stops by, stays late, takes her out to movie.
Really? My uncle's name is Bravi?
No, Robbie.
Oh, Robbie.
Yeah, like Robert.
That's not a very handy name.
Fine, his name's Bob.
His name
All
could it be
right.
Robert Vindaloo, or just
All right, so here's a question, guys. Let's so I wrote down like Hindi bookstore owner. So let's flesh this out a little bit before you guys go and investigate. So who wants to tell me the name of the bookstore?
Well,
Cricket?
What was that, Christopher?
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Okay.
I said cricket.
All right.
Cricket.
Okay, Mallory?
All right. His name is Vineet.
Vineet.
Yes.
Can you spell that for me?
Vineet.
All right. Vineet.
And the
All
last
right.
name is Gupta. Gupta.
Yep. I know how to spell that. I actually have a friend named Gupta.
All right.
So, awesome gamer in Indy. All right. So, Vineet Gupta. Who wants to tell me the name of the bookstore?
me.
All right. John. What's the name of the bookstore?
Books and Brahmins.
All right. What is a Brahmin so I know?
Actually, I just
All right. So Google that.
is
no,
a
a
member of the highest Hindu caste, that of the priesthood.
Ah. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. That's great, John. So Vineet Gupta's Books and Brahmin.
I had to double check because I didn't want to get it wrong and I didn't want to be culturally insensitive.
Fair enough. Christopher, why don't you tell me what the bookstore is like?
The bookstore. Oh God, you're asking me to
Yeah,
describe
like-
something I have no knowledge about, and
Well,
like,
I mean, is it
John?
is
I don't want
is it-
to.
Well, here's the thing. Like, just imagine like what all the bookstores that you've been to in your life. Like the Columbus bookstore in Germantown is like a giant maze of books with multiple floors, and nothing makes any sense.
Well, from the
maybe
sound
it's-
of it,
maybe
it
it's
sounds like one of those religious bookstores. So they've got all of the religious texts in one area. They've got, I don't know if the Hindi have anything like, the rosary or, just the things that they have for stickers for the car or whatnot, kind of kitschy stuff here and there with like one section that's really dedicated to, the hardcore, I guess you could, the more traditional element.
Sounds good. I also imagine there's like a bunch of like American flags in the front of the store. And that there's like this actually a Christian section up front, very visible from the window.
But it's immaculately clean.
Yes. Like no one touches those books.
I
Well, I'm saying the whole store is immaculately clean.
Immaculately clean.
personally, I also love the idea of there being like a big flat screen TV that's constantly playing Bollywood films.
I like it
that flat screen with Bollywood. All right. The very
And
last
you
question
can
that
hear
I
it
have-
through the whole store.
The very last question that I have is for Ryan. How does Vineet Gupta know your mother?
Oh man, I have the perfect idea for this too.
I mean, I have
dated in high
I have
school.
two. Well, there's all the obvious ones. But I'm gonna go with a different one. I'm gonna say that they went to college together and they were both in the same PhD program. Boom, because my mom is a doctor.
So it's Dr. Gupta.
And so is he, but he's like a doctor of what do they call like he went
Divinity?
down he went down like the homeopathy route, and they kind of had a little bit of a disagreement, and he kind of
So he's a failed doctor.
yeah, so I'm gonna say that's how, but they keep in touch. I keep in touch with him. I don't know if my mom knows that I really keep in touch with him.
I would imagine that's a big secret.
But because of the compel, he's going to mention it to her.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, I saw your son today. What? You
Do you know
know,
that your son is a knight of Vishnu?
The thing I was thinking was that he was like the beloved uncle of the woman you're betrothed to make it even
he
more
could still be.
compromising.
That could still also be the case.
I like that. That's good.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Also-
it's not mutually. It's not mutually. Those things aren't mutually exclusive.
Uncle
so.
of Ravi's betrothed.
Which I feel like I gave you a name for her. Didn't I?
If you did, I lost it.
Not even the regular
so-
uncle, but the beloved uncle, the
The
favorite
beloved
uncle.
uncle. Awesome. This is great. All right.
I'll have to think of
So-
a name for her.
Okay, so Ryan, you said
so-
he was into he was into Eastern medicine, not Western medicine.
Well, like just like homeopathy. Like
Okay, so he does Ayurveda.
I sure.
Okay, he might be able to help me realign my doshas so I can get to encourage blood production to get rid of my sticky condition. I'm selfish, sorry.
I say yes, he can do that. I would say probably, but
Well, it wasn't a
thinking
PhD
more like
program, so
I was thinking more like acupuncture and like homemade remedies, and he probably has his own.
Well,
Little, like,
Ayurveda
herb.
covers a lot of that.
Yeah,
I'm actually,
Yes.
my wife and I are quite versed in Indian medicine. Not PhD level, but we've done our research.
all right. Well, then you probably know more about it than I do, but I would say that yes, he would be able to do that.
All right, I'm just looking up how to take care of. Actually, if Christopher, if you could look up what needs to happen to get rid of your sticky condition, I'll set up the scene.
Someone needs to succeed at a +4 overcome roll.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so it sounds like you guys are gonna head there straight away because you want to get Michelle looked at and find out some information. Is that true? You guys are pretty much on your way.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right. So as you usually,
Yeah. I mean, also Ravi needs to change your clothes.
Yeah, we can make. I mean, I'll stop by my apartment or whatever.
okay. So
My really
Ravi
crappy
gets you-
apartment.
Cool. Ravi, you get a change of clothes. What do you guys all order at the Dunkin' Donuts drive-through? Because I'm assuming that you guys are going through there again to get coffee. And
oh
donuts.
heck yeah!
Donut holes.
Yeah, let's load up on some sugar.
All right. Awesome.
You guys and your donut holes, they are so inferior to just regular plain glazed donuts. So I make sure that I get half a dozen plain glazed donuts, and
If
also
the donuts are plain, they cannot have any glaze on them.
they don't have any sprinkles on them. Just regular frosted donuts.
Are they cake
And-
donuts at least?
No, they're fried donuts because those are the best kinds of donuts.
Well, cake batter donuts can be fried.
Wrong.
Cake with chocolate frosting, the best.
And also, I
Yes.
make sure to
John,
get myself.
John gets a fake point for liking the right donuts. No, I'm
and I
kidding.
also make sure to get myself the largest that I can get of an Earl Grey latte, so I can
Awesome.
spike my caffeine.
Yeah, I need.
I
I
think
need a
Michelle would
coffee.
ask for a double espresso.
It's coffee time, that's for sure. This
Awesome.
episode sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts.
Just like
every
last
episode
time.
is sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts.
Time to make the donuts.
We go nuts for the donuts. All right, so you guys managed to find a parking space near Books and Brahmin. The storefront it's a relatively small store, but it is immaculate. Whenever you push the door open, a little bell dings on it. The scent of incense kind of like, kind of floods your nostrils. Not overwhelmingly so, but it's, very comforting smell. Then, all right, who's typing stuff? All right. Rooks and ramen. Oh man, I want ramen now. But there is a modest flat screen television mounted on the wall playing Bollywood. They're dancing to the music. You can hear it throughout the store. You can see that there are American flag things like put all over the store. That seem kind of out of place with all of the Hindi books, the religious texts. The deeper you get into the store, the more sort of esoteric it gets. And behind the counter is a man. He's probably like in his mid 50s. He's got dark black hair, but it's kind of thinning on top. He's got a little bit of weight on him, not like super heavy, but just a little bit of weight. And he goes, "Oh, Ravi," and he kind of like comes out from behind the counter. He's like, "Welcome," gives you a big hug. "How are you doing today? It is a pleasure to see you."
Well, what did we decide his first name was?
Vineet.
Vineet.
I'd probably call him like Dr. Gupta. I mean, very proper, especially if he's the father of my betrothed. So
Uncle.
Uncle, sorry, of my betrothed. So yeah,
They're
still very
twins.
formal.
It's a common mistake.
Also, this is kind of like an awkward, this is an awkward thing bringing other people into this too. But I will still greet him as normal. But I don't have a lot of time for small talk today. Unfortunately, we need to see your special section.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I don't know any of these people, Ravi. I don't know that's something that are you sure? I mean, I know that occasionally you like to peruse the books, but I thought it was an idle fascination.
Does he know Michelle or know about? I don't know how in tune with the supernatural you want this guy to be. I know usually these owner of a bookstore has probably seen things, but I don't know. The air cling is pretty.
Well, the thing
specific.
is you're not sure. You don't know what he knows or has access to.
That's true.
He has access to some books that have some esoteric knowledge. Speaking in Dresden Files terms, he's probably a member of the Paranet, although Ravi wouldn't know that. But as far as how in tune he is, he doesn't seem to react weirdly to your cluster of friends, except for the fact that they're all white. So.
Can I take the book, which is kind of just wrapped up in cloth right now?
So you guys stopped and got it?
Yeah. We stopped back at the place and went back.
We did go to her apartment. So
yeah.
We would definitely be bringing the book with us. Let's show it to him.
Yeah, I take the book. It's wrapped up in cloth. I kind of just slide up next to Ravi and kind of slide it across the counter. Please be careful with this.
We'll
I think this will
slowly.
It's no. Just let him do it. Just be careful. It's very old and very valuable.
I'm gonna keep an eye out, by the way, because I don't trust anybody here. So I'm keeping an eye on if there's anyone else in the store.
Sure. There's no one else in the store right now. So he goes behind the counter, kind of turns the book around, pulls out one of those big loops that they use to kind of closely examine things, and then kind of starts looking at the pages and begins examining it. He goes, "Ravi, this is a fascinating book. This is incredibly old."
Yes, I know. Please be gentle.
So, Ravi, where did you get this?
I mean, it's not mine, but
am I just going to be ignored here? I guess.
Right.
Okay.
I didn't get it from anywhere. It's hers.
You point to
Evie. She's the one that discovered it and what it is and how valuable it probably is.
He just he spends a few moments examining pages. He's like, I don't. Why did you bring this here, Ravi?
Did he say why did I?
Yes.
I mean, again, I'll point over to Evie. Still, again, we thought this would be the place to get more information. Evie's done a lot of research, but there's only so much you can do online.
He says come with me. He kind of waves you behind the counter to go like behind like a pull drape like into the back office. And like he kind of like ushers you into the back office, Ravi, and he kind of like looks at the rest of you and says, I have a security system, and goes back into the back.
Not a very good one.
And so Ravi, he kind of begins talking to you in Hindi. He's like, Ravi, this is a very serious object that you've brought into my store. What are you getting yourself into? And he slaps you upside the head.
Hey, I just, wrong place, wrong time. I'm not doing anything. We fell into our laps through a series of events, and now we're trying to figure out what we're supposed to do with it.
Oh, laps. You bring that girl in here and you're telling me about laps now? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Do you know that you are betrothed to my twin brother's daughter and that I do not appreciate you bringing any strange...
let's leave that at the door. It's not important.
I would have left it at the door. Do you know that you would break her heart? You would break her heart if she could see you right now. Bringing in this dangerous book. But by the way, you guys can all hear like the conversation, but it is in Hindi.
Well, speaking of the Hindi part, as they're talking, I want to put one of my earbuds in my ear and turn on my phone and have just the latest and greatest, not available to the public version of text to speech translate.
Those Google headphone things.
Yeah, one of those things. I'll spend something if I have to do that.
Fate point.
Can I use what is it? The preparations stunt.
Well, you've
and mark a box of knowledge.
You could do that. You could also spend a fate point on let's see. Never stops digging, because you knew that you were coming here and you did have to stop back at Ethics HQ.
I'll take it. I'll spend a fate point. That's fine.
All right, I've moved your fate point off.
Oh, you have already? Okay.
I already did. Yeah, here.
All right.
Go ahead and put that one back. All right. So cool. Yeah, you Google Translate it. So you mostly get it.
Yeah, I get the basic gist of what they're talking about.
And I'm kind of used to this, but still, like whatever, my friendship with Evie is not like the point of what's happening here. And you know what? Even if we were more than friends, you know what? I'm my own person. My mom doesn't control me. She's half a country away. So let's just keep this here between us.
Oh, no. These are listen, I know, Ravi, that as a young man, you have a desire to sow your oats. I get it. I understand it. But you are now betrothed, and that now is not the time. That time has passed. I also know that just glancing at this book, it looks like it's an original copy of the Gayat al-Hakim. And that is probably not a good thing for you to have.
You know that just from looking at it?
Yeah, that's the title of it. It was written on the cover. If you ever learn to read Arabic, I've been trying to, if you focused on what was important, Ravi, you would be able to read this yourself. This is obviously a tome of some significant import. And this is very important, is this stolen?
Originally, or did I steal
I take that as a yes. Okay.
I don't know where it came from. I'd say for an object of this value, I would also assume
obviously it came from the
Mediterranean
Mediterranean in the 11th century. I get that.
I'm guessing that either somebody stole it or maybe discovered it somewhere. But yeah, you know what? I'm being honest with you, it was probably stolen by someone. I don't know who, but somebody probably stole it at some point.
You would make a great
out,
politician, man.
he points out at the curtain and he's just like, someone.
Evie clears her throat. Hey, Ravi, you want to mention to him that thing we fought?
Not
You
really. I wasn't really planning on it, but thanks.
It might be helpful. It kind of looked like it might be. You said it reacted to you. Maybe it's, he might know about it. Might want to tell him.
Oh, the giant blue crab?
Yes, the giant blue crab.
There was also a giant blue crab. I think the giant blue crab might have stolen it. Honestly, I know how crazy this sounds.
By the way, hi, thanks. My name's Evie. No, I am not with your whoever Robbie is to you.
We have no relation.
So you can stop assuming that we're having relations.
That's exactly what someone in that situation would say. I understand. I get it. I know you need to protect your honor. He pokes his head out. I understand you have to protect your honor. I get it. I'm impressed that you speak Hindi. If I know
I don't speak Hindi, but this does, and I pulled a little earpiece out.
I look at Michelle and go, why don't we have magic earpieces?
I don't think you could afford one. Oh, jinx.
I just take it from the ones who do.
There you go. All right. Well, so
I paid a fate point for mine.
So Ravi, yeah, I don't know. What do you?
I'm like incredibly embarrassed at this point. By the way,
so you're fighting monsters now. You understand that hold on. He waves you out of the back office.
We met yesterday.
So he waves you out of the back office. You hear him dialing a phone, like, cordless phone.
I knew this was a mistake. I knew we shouldn't have come to this place.
And you hear him like he's going off in Hindi. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know what he's doing. It's crazy. It's all sorts of like, yeah, no. Yeah, no, I knew a little bit, but not too much. Okay, hold on. He comes out and he's like, he goes, Ravi. He holds out the phone. It's your mother.
I'm not doing this.
What are you, 12?
I'm not. Okay.
I'll talk to your mother. I can talk to your mother.
I'll talk to my mom if you help them with the book.
This is where we're going to end tonight.
No,
I want to talk to his mother.
No,
end like this.
Nobody gets to talk to my mom. It's my mom.
Why? If she speaks English, I don't understand why we all can't talk to her.
Right?
Oh, we can't end like this. No, I refuse. We can't wait 2 weeks.
I'll talk to my mom on the condition that he takes what Evie says seriously. I'm gonna take him by the shoulders, and turn him to face the group. I'll take the phone call behind the corner alone.
Yes. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. What do you guys want from Vineet Gupta, Dr. Gupta? What information about the book do you want from him? And then next week we're going to start with Ravi talking to his mother.
Obviously, if he could tell us where the book comes from and what its purpose is, that would be probably useful.
Yeah.
Also, if he knows that anybody's looking for it.
Yeah, I mean,
if someone's looking for it, I think would be important.
The reason why we went to Charlene in the first place was so we could find out, I think, if there were any feelers out for the book, like any potential buyers. Because if we could find the buyers, then we could probably find who had stolen it, or who had it originally that it was stolen from. So if we could find out any of that, like who wants it, who had it, why was it stolen, who stole it, any of those, I think would be good.
Sure. And I will give that information to you next session.
Okay.
So, yes, in 2 weeks. So, awesome. All right.
Too long.
I know, right? Tonight was a really good session.
All you gotta do is watch next week's, and Randy will tell you all about it before we get to game.
No.
Right?
Spoilers.
Yeah. I don't like spoilers.
Yeah. Besides, honestly, running Fate, the alternating one, all I do is just talk shit on you guys, and so like that's it.
I know we're terrible, aren't we?
Yeah, that sounds about
horrible.
right.
Just the
Nah.
worst players.
They wouldn't stop typing on their keyboards.
Yeah.
The
No, you
alternate
guys-
group is actually all of our NPCs. So in the alternate group is Ravi's mother. So we're waiting on that player to tell us what she's going to say.
No.
Awesome. So to wrap up, I want to do like the usual like roses and thorns sort of thing. So if everyone can say something that they either liked or didn't like or both about tonight's session, and then we'll sign off. So whoever's feeling it can go first.
I'm feeling it. Is that cool?
Yeah, go.
I thought it was a good session. I had a lot. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was action packed. Combat dragged a little bit, which I think a lot of that was due to our just poor rolls, repeatedly poor rolls.
Roll 20 was not feeling it today.
Yeah, it didn't let the action. I mean, that combat could have been over in 2 hits if rolls had been better.
Yeah.
So I don't know what really. There's not really a fix for that, but. Other than that, yeah, I think it ran really smooth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt the same way about the combat. So I'm still like kind of adjusting opponents to make sure that like our sessions go at a nice even pace. So I don't want the combats to continue to be like, the biggest chunk of our time. So I think that the next session's probably going to be low on combats and high on role playing, just to help even that out a little bit. So
that'd be great.
Yeah.
All right. So who else has something good or bad?
I love Ravi's contact. Vineet. It's great. I love that somebody just randomly threw out that he was the twin of his betrothed's father. So I think that's great. And it just got seamlessly incorporated in. So top notch. But from a combat focus thing, if I'm in the scene with you guys, like specifically like with me and Michelle being in the same room, try to have me go first because then I can give the buffs and stuff.
Okay.
So
You can do the setup.
yeah, I can do the setup and then you guys can go.
That's
So
true.
I want to like try to have me go before like when stuff's about to go down.
Makes sense.
So me going last is kind of like so
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. For me, I very much enjoyed taking in peril condition because honestly, most of the Fate games I've played in, we never got past minor consequences because the GM was just too afraid to throw the heavy hitters at us. So it's nice to get bloodied that badly and come out the other side and be like, yeah, whatever. I'm still around. It's cool.
Excellent.
Yeah, that was a big hit.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
great.
As my future servant, possibly, you can't get hurt.
Well, I have to prove to you that I can take a beating. Otherwise, you'll think that I'm not worthwhile and you'll go for one of the goblins instead. And I can't have that. My reputation's on the line.
See, I like how you admitted to being a servant, even though that's not really what the charm does, and I'm going to lord it over you for eternity.
Until you forget.
No, for me, it was already echoed. I thought combat dragged a little bit, but that happens in any combat. And again, like I said, I think it was our rolls where it seemed like an encounter where we should have like if the fate dice had been with us, we would have just stomped it.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I like the session. I thought it was really good. I like our reoccurring moments like with Dunkin' Donuts and I like the comedy. And I think as you saw with all of us being like, no, 10 more minutes of game time. We want to know what's going on with Ravi's mother. I think it was a pretty good session.
Yeah, it was good.
So, real quick, I saw Kanami in the chat commented maybe reduce the number of stress boxes for everyone for like ways to make things a little bit more dangerous. that I have tried in several different campaigns, and I find that you can either do that or you can raise up the opponents. The Fate Adversary Toolkit has a lot of really good advice that I've been applying to my bad guys, making them more dangerous. I just, in this instance, for this combat, I made the defense a little bit too heavy for this creature that didn't quite balance out the offense that I had given it as well. So that's a great suggestion. I have done that in the past. It's valid, but I'm trying to play to Dresden Files as much as I can and applying the Fate Adversary Toolkit. But thank you very much. I appreciated all your comments tonight in the chat. So awesome stuff.
And also, the stress is done completely differently, because in Fate Core and even Fate Accelerated, you can only take one box of stress, and each one's worth a linearly higher amount than the previous one. In Dresden Files Fate, you have 6 stress boxes, and each one can absorb 1. So you can mark multiple boxes. So in Fate Core, you can have up to 5 stress box, I think, or 6 maybe.
It's 4.
4. Okay.
In Fate Core, it's up to 4.
So you can take a 4-point,
and then if you have high skill, you can get up to a 4-point block. So a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4.
Yeah, so you can take a 4-point hit and a 3-point hit and a 2-point hit and a 1-point hit. Whereas in Dresden Files Fate, if you take a 4-point hit, you only have 2 boxes left.
You have stress. So
yeah,
it's we're going to be feeling our way through it. Like the thing is the way that I had the monster written, like technically we could have gone longer, but I felt like just like the rest of you that it's like, okay, it's really hit its kind of apex. Yeah, like, no, it's time to go. And besides, I was really hoping that I was going to get to let the legs concede. So that was awesome. All right. Well, unless anybody else has anything else to say, does anyone else have anything else to say? Just to wrap up?
Nope.
All right, great. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
I have one thing
go
to
ahead.
say. Ravi's in trouble.
Whatever, there's bigger things to worry about.
All right, I'm going to stop the stream now. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Good one, y'all.